Hi, this is Michael Orl from MobileBurn.com, and this is the Casio G'zOne Commando. It's a rugged Android 2.2 Froyo device from Verizon Wireless. It's available now for $199.99 on a 2-year contract. So let's open up the box, see what's inside. There's the phone itself. Power button's down here low on the bottom left. It's kind of strange. Let it power up. And tips, hints, and shortcuts. Looks like safety information, warranty information, that kind of garbage. Here is the wall charger with a USB connector. And to go with that, we have the USB to micro USB cable for data or charging. Plugs right into charger, of course. Battery's pre-installed. Doesn't seem to be anything else in here. There's an 8 gig memory card also supposed to be pre-installed, so it looks like that's all we have in the box there. So here's the G'zOne Commando. I removed all the protective coatings. Seems a little odd to have protective coatings on a device as rugged as this, though. Really a tough looking phone. It's got a wide VGA, 480 by 800 pixel, 3.6 inch touchscreen display. As I mentioned, it's a ruggedized device, mil-spec specifications, water immersion, salt fog, extremes in temperature, altitude, a whole bunch of different things. And we'll check out some of those when we abuse the phone in a later video. But let's just take a look at the hardware right now. 15.5 millimeters thick. You can see on the left-hand side we've got volume controls, some sort of shortcut button. I'll see what that is later. Charging contacts for a dock, and there's the power button that I use to turn on the device. Not too much up top. We've got sealed covers here for the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. You can see the reddish color O-ring there. Something similar here for the micro USB port. And of course the camera shutter button. Not too much to see on the bottom. The back is home to the 5 megapixel autofocus camera, and there's a LED flash as well. Notice the little metal bolts here. They appear to be real. Rubberized coating on the device in general. Feels pretty tough, and it's good looking too with the orange or red accents rather. Button down here lets you remove the rear cover. See if I can get it off without killing myself. You see the rear cover there with the gasket around it. That's a 1460 milliamp hour battery, good for 7.5 hours of talk time, or a little over 11 days of standby time according to Casio and Verizon. In spite of the fact that the device only features a 3.6 inch display, you can see it's pretty sizable. I've got it right next to a Google Nexus S right there, and they're roughly the same size in total dimensions. That's because of the extra, I guess, internal padding, if you want to call it that, that makes this device so rugged. And it's pretty heavy too compared to most modern smartphones. It's about 157 grams, which is not as heavy as, say, the Kyocera Echo, but definitely on the heavier side for a touchscreen slab. So let's activate the phone. Here's the lock screen. You can see you can put it into vibrate mode if you swipe to the left, unlocks if you swipe to the right. Home screens, there are 5 home screens. There's no pinch gesture support or anything like that though. Cool coloration on some of the stock widgets, so looks pretty nice. I like the compass widget right on the front and center of the device. Doesn't seem to work too accurately though. Probably needs to be calibrated. Deactivate it just by tapping on it. It's actually a bunch of G's Gear applications. You can see a pedometer, venture training, tides, thermometers, kind of cool. All available front and center. I think that's pretty neat for a phone. See, it's pretty warm right here. Here's the main menu. Very standard looking. Nothing much going on at all here. Notification area up top. No shortcuts provided, but you can see we've got a inbound text message here. There's the threaded SMS system. Comes with T9 Trace for text input. Works okay in the trace mode. This is okay, but it is actually horrible when it comes to tapping. So hard to get things accurate and setting up email accounts, trying to get passwords right. It was an absolute nightmare. The trace, like I said, works decently. Just trace the letters. I meant decently, not recently, but in general it's been okay. But trying to tap stuff in here has really been a nightmare. If we go into landscape mode, you'll see I have a larger keyboard, and that gets rid of many of the problems. Here's a Gmail app, just like Gmail on every other Android device. Proper formatting, you can see colors, font sizes, everything works well. HTML email support is also included. No multi-touch zooming though. Works in landscape mode if you were wondering. Let's go take a look at the stock email client though. This is very, very weak. It's painfully slow to load up the inboxes. There's no formatting. You can see the asterisks around the words. Everything's the same color. No zooming. And if I go back and pull up this HTML email, this is what you get. No HTML email support at all. Does of course work in landscape mode like pretty much everything does, but it's really it was difficult to configure. Just didn't seem to like what I was putting in, even though I knew it was the right email address and password, and it took so long for the inbox to load. It just was really a disappointing experience. You might have noticed that there's Bing preloaded on the G'zOne Commando. Have Bing Maps, which I've always found to be quite good. You can install Google Maps yourself, but the default Google search is not available as far as I know. I like the local search on Bing. I've always been a fan of the Bing service. Let's see if I can search for Chinese. Should hopefully come back with some results. And you can see ratings. I kind of like that. Pull up the browser. By default it loads Verizon's site. I have some bookmarks I pre-did. Or in Mobile Burn site. We're on a Wi-Fi connection right now. Verizon's signal is kind of weak in this part of Florida where I am. Actually, pretty much everything's weak in this part of Florida. See the flash support, the ads, embedded YouTube, everything like that. Wait till it finishes loading, but you can notice that still have multi-touch zooming. It's an 800 megahertz processor in here, so it's not as speedy as some devices, but definitely has enough to run Flash in general. Support for multiple windows, of course, just like pretty much any Android device. Landscape support. A little slow on the scrolling though, especially with the flash ads. This is the pre-installed SocialBeat application. It supports MySpace, Twitter, and Facebook all in one combined feed. I really don't have much going on with Facebook, and I don't have a MySpace account, but you can see that they're mixed in there. Twitter icon there and the Facebook icon there. Seems to be a decent application. Take a quick look through the main menu. You can see a 3G mobile hotspot capability, calendar, different views of course. I always like the agenda view. Bunch of pre-installed apps. Verizon puts a lot of things on here. City ID, it's always a pain. Can't get rid of these things. Slacker's pre-installed. All these VCast options. VZ Navigator is a nice application though. Skype Mobile's pre-installed. And just to show you that Google Maps does work, here it is. If you've been wondering what this little button down here does, you notice that it's trying to tell me to swipe it. So what I'm going to do, swipe that up there, and you get quick access to some favorite applications. You can rearrange them if you want. You can also drag one off and replace it with something else. It's pretty cool. Test out the voice dialing while we're here.
Please say a command.
Send text Jack Black mobile.
Opening text message to Jack Black. Mobile 1.
Nuance's system works pretty well. Does not do voice transcription once you're inside here though. If I tap here for the phone button, you can see we've got access to a dialer, call log, contacts, searching right up there. You can define some groups, and you always have access to favorites, so I can easily dial somebody just by tapping here. You'll see it'll place a call to Jack Black. Here's the stock Android music player. See, we've got album art and everything, just like you see on any other Android device. Plays in the background. Let's lock the device, see if there's any access from the lock screen. Doesn't appear to be any. And lastly, here I am in the About section of the settings, so you can see we're running Android 2.2.1, that's Froyo. So that's a quick look at the basic aspects of the hardware and the software on the Casio G'zOne Commando. I'm going to put it through its paces, test out the mil-spec ratings, see how good it is underwater and things like that, as well as test out the camera and the video camcorder and things like that in the future. It's available for $199.99 right now on a 2-year contract. Very good looking masculine device, relatively small 3.6-inch touchscreen display, and a little bit underpowered, and the software is not the best we've seen, especially the T9 Trace keyboard's really bad unless you're doing the tracing function. So, but you can always install third-party apps to help fix that. Nonetheless, very interesting device. That is the Casio G'zOne Commando. I'm Michael Orrell for MobileBurn.com.